We welcome you inside the GW Gymnasium on the campus of GW High School in Charleston, West Virginia, where tonight it's a state capital all-city matchup between the Lady Patriots of George Washington and the Lady Cougars of Capital. GW enters at 13-6. Capital invades at 3-14. Greetings from the Hill, along with producer-director Butch Mounts and videographer Robbie Mounts. This is Mark Martin. Delighted to have you with us on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions. These two have been trying to get this one in for quite a while, and finally, the third time is the charm. GW has won 5 out of 6, 8 out of its last 10, and for Capital, well, you look at that record, you say 3-14, but they come in here on a 2-game winning streak, as they have knocked off Riverside 63-38 and played a game last night against Beckley Woodrow Wilson, and they downed the Lady Flying Eagles by a count of 47-45. Some good players to watch in this game tonight for GW. Shy Banks, a 6'3 junior, averaging a double-double, 16 points and 12.5 rebounds a game. She's had 3 double-doubles this season. She had a game of 29 points, a game with 32 rebounds, and a game in which she blocked 11 shots. So she is definitely a player of the year candidate heading into the next season, as she is only a junior. Some other standouts for GW in this one tonight. Sophomore Dee McMillan, who was a Charleston Daily Mail All-Rookie League selection a year ago. And Jessica Lowen, one of the team's 2 seniors, who averages 7.3 a game. McMillan averages 7.6 a contest. Alicia Davis averages 6.1 a game, the other senior for this very young George Washington team. And likewise, Ahmad Witten in his second season at the helm and of the Capital Lady Cougar program, and his crew very young as well. And one of his standouts is Lachey Watts. She had 22 points last night, a 5'11 freshman. And the team's top scorer is Alex Gray. She finished last night with 17 points and averages 11 a contest. So we're just about set for the introduction here of the starters. Senior night here on the Hill at George Washington High School. Jason Smith, our public address announcer, will be introducing the starters here tonight.
Welcome everybody to George Washington High School for tonight's contest between your home team, the George Washington High School Lady Patriots, and the visiting Capital High School Lady Cougars. Would everybody please rise for the playing of our national anthem? Now for your starters. First, for the visiting Cougars. At guard, number 3, Jana Fawcett. At guard, number 5, Alex Gray. At guard, number 20. forward, number 33, Sade Moore. And at forward, number 55, Lachey Watts. The Cougars are coached by Van Whitman, Jimmy Center, and Susan Garrettson. Now, for your home team, the Lady Patriots of George Washington High School. At guard, number 3, Sydney Mallory. At guard, number 10, Dee McMillan. At guard, number 14, Jessica Lowen. At forward, number 30, Alicia Davis. And at center, number 50, Shayana Banks. The Patriots are coached by Jim Master, DJ Caliber, Chad Roberts, and Travis Martin.
Good crowd on hand here for a Wednesday night Mountain State Athletic Conference Showdown girls basketball. Final week of the regular season, the road to Charleston and the Civic Center Coliseum, the state tournament. Coming up next week with sectional tournament play unfolding. And these teams, AAA clubs, and will be in the same sectional. Of course, two teams will advance on to regional play. And Jamie LeMasters, the head coach of George Washington, very confident in what his crew is capable of doing. Jamie LeMasters, Tigers Valley graduate and a West Virginia State graduate, now in his 11th season as the head coach. And Ahmed Witten, former Stonewall Jackson great, Marshall and West Virginia State graduate, in his second season as the head coach of the Lady Cougars. And we are underway. George Washington in the white, Capital in the blue. Mark Martin with you. Great to have you along here for action here on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions. And George Washington working it down low. Shy Banks up with the shot, couldn't get it to go. And Lachey Watts, number 55, comes down with a rebound into the hands of Alex Gray. And again, those two with outstanding games last night against Beckley, combining for 39 points. Tie up for the basketball, and will be Capitals basketball. Perry Eastep, Jim Crawford, Jason Buckley are our officials for tonight's game. And George Washington, with a record of 13-6, Capital is 3-14. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay in possession of the Cougars. Inbounding will be Gray, and try to get it into the hands of Watts, and ball got away from her, and we have a foul called. And it's going to go against Lachey Watts, and that will be her first, and that will be team foul number 1. Bringing it up the floor, Jessica Lowen, 4-year player for George Washington, over into the corner, and then the skip pass from Dee McMillan on the baseline, driving and putting up the shot. Alicia Davis gets it over into the hands of McMillan, who missed the shot, but Shy Banks was there for the stick back. Again, Banks averaging 16.1 and 12.5 rebounds, driving and scoring off the glass. No good by Gray, but there with the stick back is Sade Moore, and we're even at 2-2 here. Jessica Lowen down low on the block, and turnaround Banks. So tough. Well, they've tried double, triple teaming her, and just wouldn't go. They've just not been able to do that all season long. So with the basketball is Alex Gray. Nearly taken away here, and now coming with the basketball, driving is Naja Allen. And the ball turned over, and it will be George Washington's basketball. GW with a 4-2 lead. Across the timeline, Jessica Lowen brings it, gets it over to Sydney Mallory, a freshman. Lowen, the senior, bouncing it there to McMillan, the sophomore. McMillan open, let's go with a three-pointer, wouldn't go, rebound. Going to be last touched by Sade Moore, so George Washington will continue to have the basketball. Mallory will send it in. Gets it into the hands of Davis. Davis puts up the shot, wouldn't drop, and the rebound pulled down there by Moore, and the ball knocked away by GW, and Capital will have it, trailing 4-2 here. Opening quarter of play. Alex Gray, the junior, 5'7", had 16 points earlier this season in a game against Greenbrier East, a state champion contender, no doubt. Lachey Watts with the basketball, and the freshman travels with it. She had 18 in a game against Greenbrier East. So those two played quite well against the Lady Spartans. It was a 57-49 loss. So Mid-Whitton feels that's when his team grew up a little bit. He says these postponements and cancellations due to weather really hurting his team. Nice cut to the basket, but Capital cuts it off, and here come the Lady Cougars, and driving is Gray, rolls it in. Gray with her first bucket of the game, and we're even at 4-4. Couple of ties to get this one started here. Up with the shot and rattles around and goes through. That's a two-pointer. Nice shot there by Dee McMillan. McMillan, outstanding three-point shooter for this team, and she'll be in the three-point competition at the Mountain State Athletic Conference Night of Champions on Saturday at the South Charleston Community Center. Down low, looking to put up the shot, Lachey Watts, and fighting for the rebound, Sade Moore, and Moore scores for Capital. She has 4 in the game, and we're even once again at 6-6. Picking off the pass for Capital, Sade Moore. Capital looking to take its first lead here of the basketball game. Driving down into the corner is Jana Fawcett. Fawcett loses control. Speedy point guard. Good on-ball defender. Down the floor quickly is Lowen. Underneath the basket. Fires the pass to Alicia Davis. And we got a traveling violation called, and it will be Capital's basketball. Jertea Hall checking into the game for Capital. Lady Cougars with the basketball and up with a shot. Nice move and shot by Alex Gray, and Gray gives Capital its first lead at the 3:42 mark. Gray has 4 points. Gray has 4, and Moore has 4 for Capital. Open with the shot, and this one hits the front of the rim, was Mallory. Here comes Capital on the attack, and it's Gray up with a shot, rolls around and goes through. Gray with 6 first quarter points, and Capital with a 10-6 lead over George Washington. Lowen across the timeline for the Lady Patriots. Down low, they go to Banks. Banks on the block, feeds it out to McMillan. Open top of the key straight away. Shot wouldn't drop for Lowen, and a whistle underneath. Fawcett going to be assessed with the foul. That's her first. And that is team foul number 1. So Sade Moore will check back in for Capital, and Alex Gray will take a breather. GW with the basketball, trailing by 4, and tiptoeing the baseline was Alicia Davis, and the senior turns it over. She was the Defensive Player of the Year in West Virginia Girls High School Soccer. Long range shot and no good for Hall. Rebound by Davis, and Davis is going to be fouled, I believe, by Sade Moore. That will be her first. That will be team foul number 3 here in this first quarter of action. 3 ties and a couple of lead changes here. Right now, Capital enjoying a 4-point advantage. Shot missed there by Mallory, and the rebound by Hall for Capital. Hall brings it across the timeline for the Lady Cougars, looking for win number 4 of the season. Fawcett driving, tried to feed it down low to Watts, and Got another foul going to go against Capital. Fawcett picks up her second, and that is team foul number 4. Into the game for Capital. Denaje Allen. GW trying to close the gap here, trailing by 4. They get it to Banks, and a lot of times that'll happen. You get it to her, but too strong off the glass. Allen with the rebound for Capital. Denaje Allen gets it to Hall. Hall drives in, uses the glass, won't go, and the ball last touch by Capital. 1:45 to go here in the first. Lady Cougars of Capital in the blue, leading GW in the white 10-6. Lowen across the timeline for GW. McMillan to Mallory. Mallory, skip pass. Lowen back up top to McMillan. Now they get it down on the baseline. That is Davis. Davis sends the pass out off the glass. Driving straight away is McMillan. She has 4 points here in this. First quarter of action, so we have a foul called. And the foul was assessed to Davis, her first. And that is team foul number 1 against GW. Got a 5-second violation against the Lady Cougars, so a chance for GW to tie things up here. Lowen into the front court to Mallory. On the baseline, driving, and nice play there by Davis. Gets her bucket, and we are tied again. 4th tie of this first quarter. 10-10. Alex Gray feeds down low. Shot would not go for Moore. And the ball going to be last touched by GW. On the inbounds, GW comes away with it. Lowen speeds down the floor, up with the shot, gets it to go. GW has gone on a 6-0 run here, and they take a 12-10 lead. Capital have a whistle before the shot by Gray. Lowen going to be charged with the foul. It's her first, team foul number 2. Gray triggers it in to Hall. Hall taking it to the hole, and this one in and out. Chased down, though, by Capital. Denaje Allen gets the basketball and gets it into the hands of Gray. Time winding down, and Gray put up the shot. She's going to be called for the offensive foul. Her first and team foul number 5. So GW with a 2-point lead at 12-10. And we'll have the basketball here with 5.3 to go in the first quarter for Jamie Lemaster's crew. Lowen down to Banks. Banks spinning around off the glass, won't go. Rebound by Denaje Allen, and that is the end of the first quarter. GW leads Capital 12-10. Back in a moment on the GW Network, presented by Video Production.
Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile. Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day.
Early Patriot basketball will begin the second period of play.
Welcome back here to the GW Gymnasium on the campus of George Washington High School, Charleston, West Virginia. 12-10 our score as we head to the second quarter. Dee McMillan had 4 points, and Shy Banks had 4 to lead the way for George Washington in the first quarter. Jessica Lowen had 2, and Alicia Davis had 2 for Capital. Leading the way was Alex Gray with 6 and Sade Moore with 4. GW missing the first attempt here of this second quarter, and here's a steal by Alicia Davis. Davis driving down the floor and can't get it to go. Gets her own rebound and trying to get the ball out into the hands of Mallory. A tie-up underneath. In fact, we may have a foul. And we do. Hall picking up the foul. And that is team foul number 6 on Capital. Capital had a 10-6 lead before GW reeled off the final 6 of the first quarter for this 12-10 advantage. GW in search of its 14th win of the season, and Capital its 4th. But again, the Lady Cougars have won back-to-back games heading into this one. Inbounds pass. McMillan gets it out to Davis. And back they go to McMillan. Three-pointer no good, but Banks with the nice rebound. And Banks stepped on the line, and Capital will have the basketball. Checking into the game for George Washington, number 24, Morgan Holtzclaw. Freshman. Capital with the ball. Alex Gray with it. Gets it to Lachey Watts. And Watts trying to feed it to Sade Moore. Picked off there by Banks. Here comes George Washington. McMillan. And they're playing without Katie Darnell, an outstanding freshman. They should have her back by the sectionals. But out at the moment with a foot injury. Dee McMillan. Holtzclaw. Here is Alicia Davis. And open for the shot and letting it fly, and the three-pointer good by Lowen. And that gives GW a 15-10 lead here. Our biggest lead of the game. Capital had a 4-point advantage. Well, Med Witten talking to his crew, and Capital will have the ball here. Cougars with it. Hall gets it over to Gray. Bouncing it down low. Watts. And Watts turns it over. And GW will look to add to its lead. Jessica Lowen, the senior, 4-year starter, honored before tonight's game. We have a whistle away from the basketball. And that is going to be charged to Watts. That is her first, and that's team foul number 7. Got a timeout. We'll take a break here on the GW Network, presented by Video Production.
Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative.
Shy Banks at the free throw line for George Washington, a 61% free throw shooter, and she lifts up the first one. It's good. She has 5 in the game, and GW with a 16-10 lead here. This one won't drop. Ball batted around and into the hands of George Washington's Holtzclaw. McMillan into the corner. Mallory shot won't drop. Banks keeps it alive. Lowen dribbles around. And we have a jump ball. Possession will belong to Capital. It was a 2-2 game, a 4-4 game, a 6-6 game. Capital then had a 4-point advantage at 10-6, and GW has reeled off the last 10 in this contest. Alex Gray gets it into the hands of Hall. Hall driving to the bucket and can't get it to drop, but will draw the foul. Foul is going to be charged to McMillan. That's her first. And that will be team foul number 3. And the free throw up and missed by Hall. And the drought continues for Capital. Here comes GW, and Mallory fast down the floor. Couldn't get it to drop, but here is the rebound by Davis. She can't get it to fall. Banks does, and in the process draws the foul. Banks with 7 in the game, and it's an 18-10 lead for GW. Make it 19-10 as Banks converts the three-point play. Capital needing offense here. And Anaya Roach, who checked in a moment ago, 5'5" freshman, first-year player, and she walks with it. Ahmed Witten says, you know, this is a team where there is talent, but they just got to learn the game. He says, spent a lot of time teaching. He was a great athlete at George Washington, or at Stonewall Jackson. Played on 2 teams that played for state championships in football, championship team and a runner-up team, and was on a championship basketball team. And we got a foul called on Sade Moore. It's her 3rd foul. Team foul number 9. And Banks at the line. And Moore is going to have to come out, and checking in will be Denaje Allen, number 22. Banks couldn't get the second one to fall. It's a 20-10 lead.
Timeout, Cougars. It'll be a
Full timeout by the Cougars. We'll take a break here on the GW Network, presented by Video Production.
Judy with Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
Well, with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Capital was unable to score the rest of the way. And through the first 3 minutes here of this second quarter, they've been unable to produce points. And trying to do so as GW builds up a 10-point lead. Inbounds pass goes to Hall. Tail Hall driving, and the block there by Banks as Allen tried to drive against the 6'3 junior. Here's Davis, the senior, gets it to Holtzclaw, sets up, fires, won't go, but again the rebound by Davis, and Davis gets it out to Mallory. And got the lane violation, so Capital will take over. 20-10 GW lead over Capital. Long range shot, no good by Capital's Allen. Here comes GW McMillan. Bounce pass, Holtzclaw wide open, couldn't get it to drop. Banks with the rebound, up and in. 11 in the game for Banks. Driving to the hoop, and the shot no good by Alex Gray, but we have a foul. Perry Estep going to give us the call. Fouls on McMillan, her second, team foul number 4 against GW. Lady Cougars inbounds, and the shot up by Watts, no good. Ball was blocked. Shot was blocked, and here comes GW once again. Holtzclaw lifting up the shot, no good. Nice positioning underneath there by Davis. Can't get it to drop, tries again. This time it goes. Davis with 4 in the game, 22-10. GW with a 12-point advantage. Gray dribbles it off the foot of GW, and the Cougars will call a timeout here. We'll break away on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.
Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
GW in command here at 24-10 over Capital at the GW Gymnasium. Mountain State Athletic Conference Showdown, second quarter, 3:26 to go before halftime. GW gunning for its 14th win of the season. Capital trying to string together a 3-game winning streak. But it was a tight game, and at 10-10, GW took the lead in that first quarter at 12-10 to head into the second, and they have blanked Capital here from a defensive standpoint while adding 12 more to the scoreboard. Ball knocked away. Capital, Anaya Roach, number 15, 5'5" freshman, will trigger it in. Gets it to Watts. Traveling violation against Capital, and GW goes back on the offensive attack. Jessica Lowen works it across the timeline to Holtzclaw. Skip pass to McMillan. McMillan pulls up jumper, hits the front end of the rim. Alex Gray snags it away, and Gray weaves through traffic, can't get it to drop. Holtzclaw with the rebound into the hands of Lowen. Lowen down the floor and slapped away from behind by Gray. It will be GW's basketball with 2:54 to go here in the first half. Mallory will check back in, number 3 for GW, and checking out will be Holtzclaw. Shy Banks will inbounds. Gets it to Davis. Davis trying to get it down to Banks. Ball tapped away into the hands of Roach. Roach finding Fawcett, and Fawcett scores. And finally, Capital ends the drought at the 2:40 mark of the second quarter. It's a 24-12 GW lead. Gray on the defensive end knocks the ball away, and they say last touch by Mallory. So it'll be Capital's basketball. So Capital trying to gain some life here with 2.5 to go in the half and down 12. Did not get that first bucket of the second quarter until the 2:40 mark, and he went about the final 3 of the first quarter without a basket. From the corner, lifting up the 3, no good by Denaje Allen. GW back with the basketball. Davis throws it away. Capital ball. It will be Fawcett, number 3. Gets it into Gray. Gray, the junior. Gray, number 5. Mid-Witten feels she is the team's most versatile player. On the move was Fawcett. And Mallory is going to be hit with her first foul. And that is team foul number 5 on GW. Capital with the ball. Trying to chisel away at that GW lead. And here is the shot, no good by Gray. Battle for the ball down on the baseline and off of GW. Holtzclaw back in. Mallory checks out. Mallory, a freshman. Holtzclaw, a freshman. Gray into Watts. Watts gets it to Roach, and Roach travels with the ball. So the Lady Patriots take over. 1:48 remaining here in this first half, and GW with a 24-12 lead. GW's gutted out a lot of wins this season, some low-scoring affairs. In young team, 2 young teams here on the court in this Capital City rivalry. Here's McMillan to Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw wide open. Davis, her shot no good, but Banks is there. Easy putback for Banks. 26-12. Shot up by Capital. No good by Denaje Allen. And a nice rebound there by Shy Banks. Hitting the 1-minute mark here of this second quarter. Holtzclaw. Thought about the 3. Gets it to Lowen. Lowen tries to feed down low to Banks. Ball knocked away. Hall going to return, number 2, into the lineup for Capital and get Watts out of there. Watts with just 1 foul. Inbounds pass. And it's going to be Davis drawing the foul. And Hall, who just checked in, picks up the foul. So Davis will go to the free throw line. Davis has 4 points in the game. This is the first one. Davis hitting 66% of her free throws this season. Checking in is Torin Kolaski, number 40 for George Washington, a sophomore. And as Jamie Lemasters tells us, this young lady leads the team in knee bruises. All-out hustle, number 40. So with the 2 missed free throws, Capital a chance here offensively, but they immediately turn it over as Roach cannot handle the pass. GW back offensively now. See what the Lady Patriots cook up here on this possession. Working around maybe for that last shot. Here is Kolaski. Gets it to Davis. Davis does a nice job of negotiating to the bucket and scores. Davis with 6 in the game, 28-12. Gray lifts up the shot. She gets it to go. Gray has 8 points in the game for Capital. 28-14 is the score. And GW just threw it away. Nice job there in the front court by Capital defensively. So Lady Cougars with 10.4 showing on the clock can carve away a bit more at that lead. Here is Fawcett. Fawcett over to Allen. Allen's shot won't drop. GW has the basketball. McMillan at half court won't go, and we played a half of basketball here on the Hill, and it's George Washington 28, Capital 14 in this Mountain State Athletic Conference showdown, Capital City style. The Lady Cougars and the Lady Patriots back with discussion of this first half in just a moment on the GW Network, presented by Video Production.
Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
We welcome you back to the GW Gymnasium here on the Hill, campus of George Washington High School in the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia. And it's a Capital City showdown between the GW Lady Patriots and the visiting Capital Lady Cougars at the break. GW leading it by a count of 28-14. Tight game early on, 2-2, 4-4, 6-6. Capital had an 8-6 lead and then a 10-6 lead, so the biggest lead for the Lady Cougars was 4 points. GW gets it tied at 10-10 and then takes a 12-10 lead into the second quarter. And GW out in front 24-10 before Capital finally dents the scoreboard again at the 2:40 mark. Biggest lead of the game has been 16 at 28-12, and at the moment we stand at 28-14. We'll come back and take a look at individual scoring in just a moment here on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.
Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
Back here at the GW Gymnasium, 28-14, our score at halftime. The homestanding Lady Patriots, the GW leading Capitals Lady Cougars by a 14-point margin. Check out individual scoring. Shy Banks, the leading scorer for GW, leads the way with 13 points. 6 points for Alicia Davis, 5 points for Jessica Lowen, and 4 points for Dee McMillan. For Capital, leading the way is Alex Gray with 8. Moore has 4 points in the game for Capital, Sade Moore, and 2 points for Jana Fawcett. That's where we stand here. Again, Capital trying to extend its winning streak to 3 in a row. George Washington gunning for its 14th victory of the season. Again, Capital is 3-14 coming in to this contest. And we had mentioned at the outset, GW has won 5 of 6, 8 of 10. Both teams up next in action playing in the Night of Champions placement game. Still to be determined who the opposition will be. And then next week, of course, it is sectional tournament action, and these two involved in the same sectional. Jamie LeMasters, the head coach of George Washington, the feeling that going to be South Charleston, GW, Ripley, 1, 2, 3 order. Of course, Riverside and Capital also in that sectional. And you go into that other sectional, and it's Princeton and Greenbrier East, the two top teams. So it is that time of year as we get set for March Madness, February style, to get us to March, and the prestigious state tournament at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum. So next week for the ladies, the road to Charleston and the state tournament will begin. One more week boys action before the road to Charleston and the state tournament begins for the gentlemen. And we will have the George Washington Patriots next Thursday night in a battle of the Patriots as Parkersburg South comes calling. And that could be a very good basketball game because those are two teams worthy and capable of making it to the state tournament in mid-March. Both teams here tonight trying to battle it out here in a rivalry game, and a lot of times coaches love having those rivalry games close to the end of the season. They feel get you ready for what lies ahead, postseason play, and you never know what can happen. Lady Patriots have returned to the floor for warm-ups as we get set for the second half. Capital still in the locker room. It's GW 28 and Capital 14. We will return to the GW Gymnasium on the hill here in Charleston campus of George Washington High School. In just a moment, you're watching George Washington Lady Patriot Basketball on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.
Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
Back here at the GW Gymnasium, 14-point cushion for the Lady Patriots of George Washington High School. We were mentioning that the road to the state tournament gets going next week. Jamie LeMasters, in his 11th season as the head coach of the Lady Patriots, has had 4 teams reach the state tournament: 2006, 2011, 2012. 3 teams, I should say, and all 3 of those teams reaching the Final Four, the semifinals. Coach Lemasters came to the Kanawha Valley, 17-year-old kid out of Tygarts Valley High School in Randolph County. He was a Bulldog and attends West Virginia State, gets his degree in teaching, starts coaching at Horace Mann, and ever since he has been in this county. 21st season overall as a head coach. He was head coach for 10 seasons there at Horace Mann before taking this GW job. Also been an assistant football coach for Steve Edwards Jr. Well, Lady Patriots are on the floor and they're ready to go. And Capital has finally made its way out of the locker room. GW going to go with Mallory, Lowen, Watts, D. McMillan, and also Alicia Davis will start. Capital is going to go with Sade Moore, Jana Fawcett, Lachey Watts, Alex Gray, and looks like Hall will also get a start, Jertea Hall. Not sure, but I think Capital lost all track of time in getting out of the locker room, but everything is good to go, and GW with this 14-point lead will have the basketball to start this second half of action. In GW in the white and Capital in the blue. D. McMillan triggering it in and gets it to Jessica Lowen. Lowen, bounce pass to McMillan. McMillan picks up her dribble, goes to Banks. Banks in trouble and gets it back into the hands of McMillan. Skip pass and driving and having her shot blocked is Davis. And the ball goes out of bounds. And it will be GW's basketball. Mallory, the 5'9" freshman, gets it in to Davis. Davis, the senior. Davis working against Watts. Davis picks up her dribble and fires it back out into the front court to McMillan. McMillan weaves over toward the GW bench. McMillan into the hands of Lowen. Down low, they get it to Banks, and now lifting up the shot, and it won't drop is McMillan. Mallory went to put it back up and in. The ball goes out of bounds, and last touch by GW. So here comes the Lady Cougars. If they're going to get back in this game, now is a great time to get started here. And got a whistle and a foul as Sade Moore put up the shot. Davis will be whistled for her first foul. And team foul number 1 against G-Dub. Good defense by G-Dub, but it will be Capital basketball. Gray gets it in to Lachey Watts. Jana Fawcett with 2 points. Loses control, gets it to Hall. Jertea Hall with the basketball. Guarded there by Mallory. Hall pulls up, shot rolls around, won't drop. Snagging it is McMillan. Down low, they work into Banks. Banks off the glass. Banks it in and draws the foul. Banks with 15 in the game. Foul charge to Watts. That's her second. Team foul number 1 against Lady Cougars. And Banks can't get the free throw to drop. It's 30-14 in favor of GW. Long range three, and this one just hits net. Nice save there by Watts, but Capital turns it over, and here comes GW. Lowen speeds it, gets it into the hands of McMillan, drives, won't drop. Gray comes out of there with it. Gray, nice bounce pass to Hall, and Hall scores. Hall's first bucket of the game. It's 30-16 in favor of GW. Third quarter, 5:49 on a turning clock. One of the assistant coaches for GW is B.J. Calabrese, who had been the head coach at Capital. And GW turns the basketball over, driving on the baseline, and it goes out. So Capital carve away here, a bit more perhaps. Gray into the front court. Gray with 8 points. Bounce pass to Watts. And Watts with 22 points last night against Beckley, but they turn it over into the hands of Lowen. Lowen drives in, and Lowen knocks it off the glass and in, but we got a charge on Lowen. It's going to be team foul number 2 against GW. And Lowen, her second. Here's Watts with the basketball, bouncing it. And boy, just a tough play there by Sade Moore. Just too close trying to make that pass, and Moore, you know, she got control of it, but just her feet goes out from under her. Holtzclaw will come in for George Washington. Morgan Holtzclaw, a freshman. And checking out will be Jessica Lowen. GW with the 30-16 lead. Holtzclaw gets it to Davis. Here is Mallory. Baseline jumper up and hits the back of the iron. No good. Rebound yanked out of there by Hall. Hall wants to take it coast to coast, and Hall does a nice job getting up the shot and drawing the foul. So McMillan hit with the foul.
Hall's good on the first. Allen enters for the Cougars. Lowen returns for the Patriots.
So at the free throw line is Hall, and Hall hits. Hall has 3 points in the game. GW with 3 team fouls. This one wouldn't go, but Gray is there for the rebound. She could not get it to drop. And GW takes over, leading at 30-17. Ball last touched. Actually, we're going to have a foul called on Gray.
Fouls on Gray, her third, team second.
Gray's third. And team foul number 2 on Capital. Lowen with the basketball. Veers it across the timeline. Holtzclaw, the skip pass. Mallory sets up jumper, no good. Gray had it, couldn't get it. Mallory, loose ball, knocks it through. Mallory's first bucket of the game. And it's 32-17 in favor of GW. Going for the steal is Lowen. I believe they're going to get her for a foul. That will be her third. That's team foul number 4. Capital with the ball. Hall guarded there by Holtzclaw. Hall wants to make the move. Hall up with the shot, aggressive, going to the basket, and she draws the foul. Holtzclaw will be whistled for it. It is Holtzclaw's first of the game, and team foul number 5, and Hall goes back to the free throw line. 3 points in the game. But she has had difficulty at the line, now 1 of 4. She has been the only Capital player to the line here in this game. This one up, and this one will go through. (32-18) is our score. GW with the basketball. Mallory Gets it to Davis. Davis, head fake, up with a shot, no good. Rebound, Banks. Banks, boy, that is, you hate to say it, but that's money in the bank with Banks. She's got 17 in the game, 34-18. Driving is Fawcett with 2 points. Nice pass. The ball swatted away. Sade Moore loses control. Here comes GW low and down the floor, up with a shot. Won't go. Rebound. Yanked out of there. But Denasia Allen. And here comes Gray. Gray, the pass. Nice pass there to Moore, but Moore too close underneath the hoop. And Mallory gets it to Banks. Wide open for the basket is Davis. Somebody lost Davis, and Davis has 8 in the game, and it's a 36-18 lead, our biggest lead of the game. Fawcett gets it to Allen. Allen's shot won't go. Here's Moore. Moore twisting around, blocked by Banks. Moore will go again. This one partially blocked. And GW has the basketball. And a timeout called by Jamie Lemasters. We'll take a quick break on the GW Network, presented by Video Production.
Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile. Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day.
Back here on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions, and it's a lead of 36-18 for GW over Capital with 2:20 to go here in the third quarter. GW got the lead at 12-10 right before the end of the first quarter, and it's an advantage they have not relinquished the rest of this game to the moment we speak of now with 2:20 to go in the third. GW will have the basketball. Holtzglaw works and finally gets it in to Lowen. Lowen to McMillan. McMillan to Banks. Banks down low, a force, and Banks puts it through. Banks with 6 third quarter points, 19 in the game. Across the timeline comes Gray. Gray, nice job of knocking that off the glass and in. Her first bucket of the second half. She has 10 for the game. She leads Capital in scoring, 38-20. Banks at the top of the key, and a nice give and go there. And McMillan scores. McMillan has 6. It's 40-20. Now this is our biggest lead of the game. Under a minute and a half to go here in the third. Gray with the ball. Gray, three-pointer on its way, won't drop. Rebound pulled down by Watts, but taken away there by McMillan. McMillan to Lowen. Lowen weaves through traffic across the timeline. Lowen, bounce pass to Davis. Lowen over to McMillan. Down low they work it to Banks. Banks working against Watts. Two talented players, and Banks puts it up and in. Banks 8 third quarter points, 21 for the game, 42-20. Here's Gray. Gray working hard, gets it to Watts. Watts had her shot deflected there by Banks. It will be Capital's basketball. Sade Moore going to come back in. Lachey Watts will take a break. Sade Moore, number 33, the sophomore. Watts is the freshman. Bounce pass in 2 more, and she can't get it to go. Banks with the rebound. Davis to Lowen. Lowen down to Banks. Banks back to Lowen. Lowen gets ahead of the defense, and Lowen scores. Lowen has her first points of the second half, 7 for the game, 44-20, GW over Capital. Capital working offensively here. Gunning for that last shot of the quarter, and no good by Fawcett, but on the rebound, Moore couldn't get it to drop, and that ends the third quarter. It's GW 44 and Capital 20 on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.
Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
Back here at the GW Gymnasium, heading to the fourth quarter with GW in command at a 44-20 count. Shy Banks has 21 points for GW, 8 for Alicia Davis, 7 for Jessica Lowen. Davis and Lowen, the lone 2 seniors on this GW team. Dee McMillan has 6, and Sydney Mallory has 2. Leading the way for Capital, 10 points for Alex Gray, 4 points each for Sade Moore and Tertea Hall, and 2 points in the contest for Jana Fawcett. Capital will have the basketball to start it out here, and Gray looking to add to her 10-point total, and she misses the shot, and GW will have the basketball. This is our biggest lead of the game at 24. Nice steal there by Gray. Gray coming down the floor. Capital has numbers, and Gray will take it herself. Gray has 12 in the game, and it's 44-22. Another steal by Gray. Gray up, and the shot blocked from behind by Banks. Capital showing a lot of great determination here. Down big in this game. Into Fawcett they go, and here's Moore. Moore trying to work against Banks, and Moore double team, gets it back out to Fawcett. Fawcett open momentarily for a 3. She feeds a pass in there to Moore, and then it was swatted away, and Fawcett gets it again, and Capital will have the basketball, but we do have a foul call. It's going to go against Mallory, and that's her second, and that is team foul number 6. Gray feeds it in. Moore top of the key. Shot won't go. Battle for the rebound. And the loose ball, and we're going to have the basketball belonging to Capital because we have a foul on Davis. And that will be Davis's second, and that is team foul number 7.
Her third, team 7.
Check that, third on Davis. And to the line will go Denasia Allen. And Allen misses the shot. So GW back with the basketball in this 44-22 lead. Here's Mallory up with a shot. Left-hand side, no good. Banks with the rebound. What Banks got the rebound. Great positioning there against Moore, and has put it back up and in. So 23 in the game for Banks. And we're going to have a violation on the baseline by Capital, and GW will have the ball, leading at 46-22. All swatted around there. Davis whirls around. Can't get her shot to drop, but Banks was there. Banks scores it, and Banks will go to the line. Banks down with 25 in the game. Foul is going to be charged to Gray. That's her third, and that is team foul number 3 against Capital. And Banks can't convert the three-point play, but number 3 is there to keep the possession alive for GW. And here is the long-range 3, no good by McMillan. Mallory gets the rebound out to McMillan. McMillan to Davis. Davis to Banks, and Sade Moore blocked the shot, but in the process fouls Banks. So Banks heading back to the line, and the Cougars will call a timeout. We'll break away. It's 48-22. Capital trailing GW on the GW Network presentation.
Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile. Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day.
The championship of the Mountain State Athletic Conference on Saturday evening will feature Huntington High and South Charleston. Huntington High just defeated the Lady Black Eagles last night 67-44, so they'll go right back at it. The consolation game will be between St. Albans and Spring Valley. And the boys' game's still up in the air. Huntington High is in the championship and will play either Capital or Beckley, who are playing tonight. Third place game yet to be determined as well. So Shy Banks at the line. She misses the free throw. This one won't go either. So she's missed 3 in this quarter. She's missed 5 in the game. So she's 3 for 8. And here is Fawcett. Banks it off the glass. No good. Shy Banks, by the way, with 25 in the game. It's 48-22. So GW back on the offensive attack here. Lowen guarded closely there by Jana Fawcett. D. McMillan. Or to Davis. Davis cut off there by Gray. Now wide open here is Mallory. Her shot won't drop, but boy, there is a nice rebound by the short Lowen. And Banks puts it up and in. So Banks has all 6 of GW's points here in this fourth quarter. They lead at 50-22 and driving hard to the basket and taking a tumble is Fawcett as she draws the foul. Banks going to be charged with the foul. Fawcett may be bleeding. So they're going to bring her off the floor. Check that young lady out. She took a hard hit to that floor. And so we got a break in the action here. We'll break away here. GW on top of Capital, 50-22 on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.
Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
Well, again, it was Jana Fawcett going hard to the basket, and taking the tumble, Jertea Hall, number 2, taking that tumble and still working on her over in the corner. It will be a free throw shooting situation with 5:31 to go here in the game. GW led it by a score of 12-10 at the end of the first quarter. It was a 28-14 lead at halftime, and at the moment we stand at 50-22. It was 44-20 at the end of 3, so she will not return. So at the free throw line, we have Sade Moore. Moore's first free throw. And she sinks both. She has 6 in the game. And it's a 50-24 GW lead. Ball poked away and out of bounds. Inbounds comes the basketball. And here is Banks straight away. Banks pouring it on here in this game. Her season high, 29. And at the moment she has 27, driving to the basket and out of bounds. Last touch by Capital Gray. Tried to get it to go, could not. Sade Moore was there, had it, but lost control of it. And GW takes over. McMillan dribbles around, finds Davis, and Davis open and scores. Davis in double figures now on senior night. One of 2 seniors on the team, and she has 10. She had 10 against Riverside earlier in the season, and a long-range 3, and number 3, Jana Fawcett, knocks it down for GW, for Capital, as GW leads it 54-27. Fawcett has 5, and Fawcett has committed the foul. Checking into the game, Michaela Bukovinsky for Capital, another freshman on this team, and Banks matches her season high and career high of 29, 56-27. And so they are taking Jertea Hall to the locker room. So a little more serious than perhaps we thought. She is walking on her own power, but sometimes you can't get that bleeding stopped. 56-27. Here's Banks, and Banks missed the shot. Davis there with the rebound. Can't get it to drop. Banks is there. Banks with 29 in the game, matching her season high from earlier this year against Cabell Midland. Here's Gray straight away, and Gray gets it to go. Gray has 14 in the game. Each team with 1 3-pointer in this contest. Game at 58-29. Time winding down. George Washington on its way to win number 14. Capital's 2-game winning streak will end as a foul is called down low. Banks will go to the line. Fawcett charged with the foul. It's her 4th, team foul number 6. And Banks gets it to go. New career and season high. Holtzclaw will come in. Mallory goes out. Watts back in for Capital, and Banks swishes both of those. And Banks going to head out. 31 in the game for Shy Banks. Torin Kolaski, the sophomore, will check in. Capital goes to work here, trailing 60-29. They turn it over. Kolaski ahead. She works it to Lowen. Lowen up with the shot, won't drop. Rebound by Bukovinsky, and Bukovinsky dribbling around, and the ball knocked away by Holtzclaw, and it will be Capitals basketball. Here's a shot by Gray, straight away again. So Gray with 6 in this fourth quarter. She has 16 in the game, and it's a 60-31 advantage for GW. Under 3 minutes to go in the basketball game. McMillan to Davis. Davis has had a nice senior night here, and Davis gets away from the defender, but she's going to be called for the travel. Jordea Hall has returned, and she is, looks like she may check in there, but now she's going down to the GW bench area and talk to their trainer, and a tie for the basketball, and it will be George Washington's ball. Dee McMillan will trigger it in. Checking in for GW will be Prue Randall, sophomore. And Randall gets it into Lowen. Lowen. And boy, Prue Randall. Well, she set the pick there, and Fawcett's going to be hit with the foul. That's Fawcett's 5th. Fawcett will lead the game, 5 in the contest. Had the team's lone three-pointer to this moment. And Prue Randall will go to the line. Missed the shot. Well, they're still working with Hall in the corner. So Capitals ball. Gray fires a shot top of the key. No good, but Kolaski comes out of there with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Lowen. Lowen down to Randall. Randall's shot won't drop. Gray with it. Alex Gray speeds it down the floor. Alex Gray up with a shot, and she is hit with the charge. And that is going to be Alex Gray's 4th foul. Here comes G-Dub. Lowen to Randall. Randall to Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw up with the shot, and Holtzclaw will draw the foul. And Holtzclaw will go to the line. She's played a lot tonight, but has not scored, so now she gets her chance. Up and in. Kanaja Booth, a junior, checking in, number 50 for Capital. And Randall, or make that Holtzclaw, forgive me, missing the second free throw. Here's Gray. Gray bounce pass. Ball twisting around and into the hands of Lowen. Lowen to Holtzclaw, and Holtzclaw gets it to go. Her first field goal of the game. She now has 3. It's 63-31. Alex Gray launches the 3. No good. Prue Randall gets the air ball. Gets it to Lowen. Lowen. No one around, and Lowen will score. Lowen with 9 in the game. 65-31. Bukovinsky bouncing it out, look for Booth, but stepping in there is Roach, and Roach fires up the shot, and that one gets stuck.
That'll be a jump ball.
Nope. Shy Banks going to be called upon. There we go. You loved Shy Banks' effort there, but you'd hate to see her get hurt trying to sort of awkward there, trying to get that ball back down into play. So under a minute to go, 65-31. GW gained the lead right at the end of the first quarter at 12-10. Never looked back. Booth with the ball. Booth gets it out to Allen. Allen to Roach. Roach tried to bounce it down to Sade Moore, and Davis steps in front of the pass. Prue Randall, here's Lowen, here's Holtzclaw, sets up, launches the three, and we got a timeout, and the two seniors for GW will come out. Nice applause. Lowen, number 14, and Davis, number 30. So checking in now for GW, number 32, Riley Lohan, and also in Yasmin Tolliver, number 44, and here's Lohan. Her shot won't go. Prue Randall try to put up the shot, and boy, Holtzclaw all over the place, and Holtzclaw comes away with it for GW. Holtzclaw on the move, one-hander, rattles around, won't drop, rebound by Moore. Moore gives way to Allen. Allen to Roach. Roach with the ball. Time winding down. And Holtzclaw gets it, and that is your game. 65-31. GW wins it over Capital here on senior night at George Washington High School. Back to wrap it up in a moment here on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.
Judy, Judy, Judy with Betty, Betty, Betty. The Sunshine Girls team of realtors with Real Estate Central is made up of Judy Wandling Randolph and Betty Stowers Whitley. Whether you're selling or looking to buy, Judy and Betty have the knowledge and expertise to help guide you through this process. So call the Sunshine Girls today and let them put a little sunshine in your day. Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care is located in the shops at Bridge Road. Dr. Richardson and his staff are dedicated to providing the absolute best care. They understand what it takes to make your visits pleasant and informative. No matter how long you've been putting off your visit, Dr. Michael Richardson at South Hills Family Dental Care will get you back to a great smile.
Welcome back here to the GW Gymnasium on the campus of George Washington High School, and it's a final 65-31. GW wins it over Capital. GW improving to 14-6 on the season, and Capital drops to 3-15. Leading the way for GW tonight, 31 for Shy Banks. On senior night, Alicia Davis had 10 in the game, and GW's other senior, Jessica Lowen, had 9. Dee McMillan finished the game with 6 points, 3 points in the contest for Morgan Holtzclaw, 2 points for Sydney Mallory. Leading the way for Capital, 16 for Alex Gray. 6 in the game for Sade Moore, 4 in the game for Jertea Hall, and 3 points in the game for Jana Fawcett. And the key in this game, GW limiting Lachey Watts to no points after a 22-point effort last night in a win over Beckley Woodrow Wilson. Again, Capital's 2-game winning streak is stopped here with this victory by GW. Again, now both teams are waiting to find out who they will play in the placement games of the Mountain State Athletic Conference Night of Champions event. And again, we will be back with you for a contest next Thursday. Boys basketball, it will be the Battle of the Patriots as George Washington takes on the Parkersburg South Patriots. And we look forward to that one here on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions. So again, it's a 65-31 win for George Washington. They knock off Capital here tonight in this Mountain State Athletic Conference showdown. So for producer, director Butch Mounts, videographer Robbie Mounts, this is Mark Martin saying so long from the GW Gymnasium here in Charleston. 65-31, GW wins over Capital. Thanks for joining us on the GW Network, presented by Video Productions.